except Saturday. Saturdays we're fighting for sleep.
Absolutely.
And that usually doesn't work. Just think about that. The only day you get to sleep in, and that doesn't work.
That's
It's,
right.
we suffer for you all. You
That's
know,
right.
some of you don't appreciate it, quite frankly. But it's Feel Good Friday, so we're not going to worry about the 10% of you who don't appreciate it. We're going to focus on the 90% of you who show love and appreciation for the sacrifice we make, getting up this early in the morning to make these donuts.
Early in the morning.
And so this morning is the Power Hour. Here again, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WURDradio.com. That's Word Radio. Check it out in the App Store, 900 AM, 96.1 FM in the city of Philadelphia. You can also follow us and participate in the conversation each morning by listening on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. And sitting across from me, boy, he is like beaming this morning. You know, I'm surprised that that we could even get the screen like right around him because his chest is all spread out. He is a first time. Can I break the news?
Go for it.
For the first time, I'm introducing officially grandfather.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Grandfather Royster.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I'm tired a little bit morning. It's been a rough 72 hours. My daughter went to the hospital a couple of days ago, and some challenges, but baby's doing fine. She's doing fine. Baby was born early this morning, 4 pounds, 15 ounces. Baby boy, mom and baby are doing okay. She's going to be in the hospital for a few more days recovering. But we are grateful and very excited to welcome the newest member of the Royster clan. And it's really good news. Really good news. So we're just grateful. We're grateful.
I'm a god grandfather.
There you go.
God grandparent.
There you go.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear that all went well. And can't wait to see the pictures because now we can pretty much the show can now just pretty much just be like what your grandchild did this day or yesterday. It's going to be like the whole show. It's like, man, he sat up.
That's right. He looked at me.
So we run out of content on the show. That's it. We'll just turn to the grandson, and
His first word was grandfather instead of mother.
Right. Hey, listen, and the glue holding this show together and keeping us straight every Monday through Friday is none other than Kawesa.
What's up, Kawesa?
How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Although I didn't really have much to do with it, but but nevertheless, I'll take it. As well. Oh, how was your journey in today?
Not too bad. I still can't figure out the traffic patterns. There's definitely more people on the road today than yesterday. And I've been noticing lately that there are a lot of folks out here just breaking the law when they're driving. Like crossing over whole lanes on a red light and turning. Like, I'm like, what are y'all doing? So that's a little scary. Yeah, I know. Just
that's an everyday thing.
Oh, left turns on red all day. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You're not supposed to do that. So, but besides that, got in smoothly. I actually got in a little bit earlier. So that's good too. I wasn't, kind of ripping and running around. I just was able to kind of coast, and that was good. The temperature outside, not too bad. It's definitely warmer than the past couple of days. I still recommend a jacket. I think it's like 54 or something like that right now. But I still recommend a jacket, but not too bad.
I got you. Thank you, Corey. So we appreciate the traffic and the weather.
Of course.
And I was supposed to introduce my partner over here, the Reverend Dr. Mark Kelly Tyler, but we got caught up in my whole,
Oh, bro, man, let me listen. First of all, when the grandchild comes in the room, first rule is just remember, nobody else matters. It's like it's his world now, okay?
That's right.
For forever, it's his world, and so that's right. So being forgotten is like the first part of it. It's all good, and so listen, bro. I mean, I kind of thought we were gonna have like an easy kind of just like, smooth Friday, get on into the weekend. The weather's getting great and not really much to talk about after this long week that we had. And crap, that doggone Tom Farley.
Now, what
You've
did
been
Tom
in
from?
you've been in the hospital.
Yeah, well, I've been, but we've been in sort of a baby cocoon and getting the room
Uh,
ready and all this other stuff. So I haven't really
oh,
paid as much attention.
oh, I
But
got bad news.
oh man.
So first of all, I get a text yesterday
Oh,
from
you talking about our police? I mean, the health commissioner?
our
Yeah.
former health commissioner.
Yes, former health commissioner. Yes.
So I get a text yesterday, and I
Yeah.
and I only read the top line, which is, Tom Farley resigns. And so
Right.
the person's like, "What do you think?" And I didn't read below, so I'm like, "Oh man, COVID restrictions easing up now. He's probably like burned out, thinking like, hey man, this has been it's been a lot. Wanted to wait till the city got open, and then I'm gonna like step down." The person like texts me back like, "What are you talking about?" So I
Mm.
went back and read it again, and I was like, oh. I'm like, you know, how much does like we talked about this yesterday, like literally about how much does one family have to go through. Speaking
Hmm.
of the Africa family, yesterday
Yeah.
was the 36th anniversary of the move bombing. And but man, who knew that the day would turn the way that it did? So the Kennedy administration apparently had already been working with the Move family. I was a little put off by the fact that this announcement came on the day, but apparently this was coordinated with the family, so it's their call. So I'm fine with that. Um, but former Commissioner Farley, upon taking office as the city's health commissioner under Kenny, found more remains of the Move family several years ago, and for some inexplicable reason. I mean, I don't know what this was about. Instead of returning them to the family, or I don't know, burying them where they could be found again, he had the remains cremated.
Yeah. That wasn't the brightest move in the world. I mean, I think I can imagine. So this is just my imagination at work here.
Hmm.
I imagine that he found this out. He probably asked himself the question, what good can come of this? Nobody
Hmm.
will ever find out. And just went ahead and took care of it so that it would not come up and cause a controversy in that moment. And, I think he thought he was probably doing the right thing for the right reasons. It just turned out to be the wrong thing for all the wrong reasons.
Oh man, I mean, he just.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I laugh because it's not funny, but I'm just, it's that nervous laughter when you don't know what else to do in this moment. Like, how do you even, I mean, the story about University of Pennsylvania
yeah,
and Princeton was bad enough,
yep,
parading the remains around in anthropology classes, like, and now this, so part of it is this is how this is the black experience in America, right? Which is, so you get mistreated from both sides of the white spectrum,
right,
because Princeton and University of Pennsylvania, two Ivy League institutions, are about as liberal of liberal arts institutions as you can get. They're about as
right.
far left as you can be. Farley is the appointee of a Democrat in the city.
Hmm.
So you get a bomb dropped on you by a bunch of racists, and then the quote unquote liberal progressive folk parade your remains around and desecrate you. And so, I mean, and this one I'm getting at is that like literally like being black in America is, it's constantly being torn between these two and being disregarded and treated as an object as opposed to being fully understood as a human being. Nobody should have to tell you that you don't do that to the remains of people who, by the way, so you're going to cremate remains, put them in a fire, move
Yeah.
bombing, fire burned up the neighborhood. I mean, does like anybody need to explain the optics of this to you? It's just absolutely just disgusting.
Yeah, I did see that yesterday. I just sat there and said, wow, this is really bad. And I'm glad to know the family was involved in the decision to announce it on that day,
Yeah.
because I said if they just found this out, I'm like,
Oh,
whoa, this
yeah.
is this is bad. This is really bad. So yeah, this is really, but it begs to ask the question, right?
Hmm.
So, and I'm going to change the subject slightly, but not completely. Um, what we do to previous generations to exploit them for whatever reason.
Hmm.
So, what this brings up for me is the fascination that people have with ancient Egypt, right? And
Hmm.
desecrating the graves of the pharaohs over there, bringing their bodies over here, putting them on display so
Hmm.
that institutions can make money off of that, right? And they're
Yeah.
not black institutions, they're not Egyptian institutions, they're white institutions that are doing that. So, we seem to have this deep fascination with this. I don't recall that we do this to European, graves, but we seem to do this with African graves.
Hmm.
We do this, I'm just kind of wrestling with this
No, I
whole
hear you.
notion
Yeah.
of, like, the performative nature of blackness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And again, it comes. That's right. And that's it. I hear you and 100% agree with you. It is, again, it's the other side of the same coin, right? And so I don't know, man. It's just awful. And my heart goes out to them. Yes, it's a beautiful, the front page of the Inquirer has just such a beautiful picture of resilience. There's Pam Africa, see my boy Gabe Bryant. They're all in white. Yesterday was a day of remembrance, and everything that I saw on social media from folk that I know who were there, it just really was an affirming and very powerful day in spite of all of this, right?
Mhm.
And so, my hat is off to them for being able to rise above it. But again, like if this is what your friends do, is I guess what I'm trying to say, right? I mean, if this is your friend, what does your enemy think about you?
Yeah.
Enough of Tom Farley. He's gone. Tom Farley. Boy, no, Raphael. By the way, we're on Facebook Live. Hit the share button if you can, and YouTube. No, Raphael. Black clergy. Well, I'll just say African American clergy, not to confuse this with the
The
organization.
Hmm.
No, we're not going to band together and lobby for Dr. Ayla Stanford to become the new health commissioner. I don't. She got enough troubles. I kind of think at this point it would be a demotion for Dr. Ayla Stanford to become Philadelphia's health commissioner and work for Mayor Kinney.
Yeah.
She got a lot of problems. That ain't one that she needs. I hear you, and I think your heart's in the right place that, we need to recognize the greatness that is within her. But I think she is on track to go a lot higher than that. And again, you don't want to be a part of that admin right now.
Yeah. I mean, what's also the term is only a couple more years, and then that's
Well,
over with.
and again, and what about, and so what? So who do we get to come clean up this guy's mess? A black woman. Nah. Let another white guy clean it up first. And then give it to a black woman. Let her inherit something that's fixed for a change.
Right. And running smoothly.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that one. I hear you
Hey,
on that.
speaking of black women, it's funny. You look at the comments sometime in the threads and what have you, and folks sometimes get the idea that like, oh, Royster and Tyler, all you do is complain, the victimization, it's the race card, and we got to rise above this. I'm like, I hear you. First of all, we do believe that you have to have self-determination and self-empowerment, but to point things out is not to whine. It is not to play the victim card. It is to tell the truth so that you can change things. A black woman, for some reason, I can't find the story that I sent to me. I sent it to myself. I sent, I see these stories, I email them to myself so I can have them for the show. But a black woman had her home appraised and couldn't believe how low it was.
Oh yeah, I heard about this story.
So she had it appraised again, and it came back just as low. And then she got a friend's husband who's white to act like he was the owner, took all of the black pictures down.
Yeah.
And it tripled in value.
Yep.
Tripled.
Yep.
I keep telling y'all, you will not listen to me. Every black person needs to have a white male friend. Why don't you listen? You think it's a joke. You think I'm trying to be funny. But these are those kind of moments where it's like, hey, white male friend of mine, I got to sell my house, bruh. I'm going to need you again. Can you bring those pictures with you? And bring your family and your grandchildren. Let them all parade around the house because your family in my space is going to triple the value of my home.
Yeah, Kwesa found the article. It's Carlette Duffy. This happened to her in Indianapolis.
Right. North of the Mason-Dixon line, by the way. Imagine what happens in the South.
Yeah. It's the Midwest, though.
Yeah, it is. Indiana is home of the Klan now.
Yeah.
They transported the flag up there.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Well, shucks, they got the flag here in Pennsylvania.
No, but I mean, it is the literal headquarters of the KKK. Has been so for some time.
Right.
But I mean, look, stop me when I'm lying, right?
No. I mean, there've been several articles about this throughout the years, but this is the first one to name somebody actually specific about it and her experience with that. I mean, it's just like, my parents have talked about selling their house, and I keep we're going to have to get somebody to come stage it so that and make sure that there's nobody here when they come to walk through it.
Want to buy a new car? Don't go in there by yourself. Send your white friend with you. You're his valet. And you're going to drive it for him because, you're his driver. And so all of a sudden you're going to get a better deal. I am not making this up.
No, it's expensive to be black.
It is. It costs you more. It's going to cost you more points on your mortgage.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you more interest on your credit card. And so for those of you who say, oh, Rev, that's just the victim. No. Victimization is like sitting around talking about, I can't do anything for myself. What we are doing is trying to dismantle this system and rebuild it the right way, where everyone gets treated equally, where your home is appraised on the value of the home itself, not who you are. We got to take a break. It's 6:23. We've gone way over time. Sorry, Kwesa. We promised to behave on the next break. This is the Power Hour. Hit the share button. Bring others into this conversation.
Anthony Wright was wrongfully convicted of murder after he spent over 2 decades in prison. DNA exonerated him. In 2016, Carlos Vega re-prosecuted him anyway.
I was in prison, convicted of a crime that I didn't commit. Every single person that was involved was corrupt. I think about Carlos Vega, I think about the devil, I think about racism.
Vote now. Vote Krasner for DA. Paid for by Lawrence Krasner for District Attorney.
We do all we can to ensure our kids are happy, healthy, safe, and strong. Having high-quality, low-cost health insurance helps make that possible. With CHIP, your child can have medical, dental, eye care, and more for free or low cost. Whether you're self-employed, unemployed, or your employee benefits are just too expensive, CHIP is there for you to help your child be strong. CHIP Strong. Apply or renew today at 800-986-KIDS or go to chipcoverspakids.com.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Breakthrough of Greater Philadelphia is a free academic enrichment program providing 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students with high grades and motivation. Join them June 28th through August 6th at Germantown Friends School. For information, call 267-255-9651.
Hey, WURD family, Reverend Leroy with a boss good recommendation for Clark Roofing. I found them to be a solid business, honest, dependable, fast, and clean workers. Mr. Clark stands by his work. Call him at 215-365-7663.
Call Clark Roofing and ask for a second-generation master roofer, Calvin Clark. Clark Roofing professionally installs a variety of roofing systems for your home or businesses. Call Clark Roofing at 215-365-7663 or visit their website
at clarkroofingpa.com.
Hi, this is Philly Congressman Brendan Boyle reminding you to please get your COVID-19 vaccine. Remember, the vaccines are free, safe, and the best way to protect you and your loved ones from COVID-19. And if your vaccine requires a second shot, please don't skip it. It's just as important as the first. If you want more information, you can email me at brendanboyle@mail.house.gov. Remember, Philly, our best shot at beating COVID is through the vaccine.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Stage Door, focusing on arts and culture in and around Philadelphia. Hosted by Tiffany Bacon and co-moderated by Jeffrey Page of the Philadelphia Theater Company. Part of The Source, Fridays at noon, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com, the WURD Radio app, or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. Sponsored by New Voices sponsor Comcast, NBC Universal, and Pico.
Tune in every Saturday at 4 p.m. for the Did You Know Show with host Bryant Green, right here on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. We're here Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news happenings around Philadelphia and, of course, our opinions, which we have plenty of. Now, you wanted to say something about this case in Indiana, but wait a minute, I got something else from Indiana that just came up too. So,
okay.
So go ahead and hit that.
All right. I just want to apologize to white supremacy. I misspoke. So I'm sorry, white supremacy. It didn't triple in value. It only doubled. I apologize. It went from 125,000 and 110,000 respectively to 259,000. So you're bad, but you're not as bad as I made you out to be. I'm sorry. That's still so bad.
That's still bad.
100 grand, bro.
Because that's somebody's like life savings right there, right? That's somebody's ability to be able to retire. That's somebody's investment for the last 20 years when they were living in the house, right? That makes a big difference. But since we're talking about Indy for a moment, so some of you might remember hearing the case about Dr. Susan Moore, who was an African-American doctor who died of COVID-19 at a hospital in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And she, were all these investigations because she went to YouTube. I mean, it was a Facebook or YouTube, one of the social media outlets, and was basically like, these people are treating me wrong. They're not doing what I want. I don't trust them here. So there was an investigation into her death, and they said that the treatment she received did not contribute to her death, but they said that the hospital lacked cultural competence on the part of those that were treating her at Indianapolis University Health North in Carmel. And she was 52 years old. She was a family medicine physician.
Wow.
Who had practiced in Indiana since 2009, and she died December 20th. 2 weeks after she was released from the hospital, and then got admitted to a different hospital. And the challenge was she kept asking for certain scans. Here she is. She's an African-American doctor, right? Mm-hmm. She studied this stuff. She's treating people with COVID, and she's asking for all these tests. She said there was one doctor in particular, a white doctor there, who just continually dismissed her pain and said, it was just causing her problems. And they said that the hospital had serious empathy and compassion issues. This is very problematic. Because it's not just this hospital in Indianapolis that does this, right? This is what happens in hospital after hospital all across this country when it comes to the way black folk are being treated. That's why we have all these issues with health equities and health outcomes that are very different. And a lot of people will turn and say, well, black folk need to watch their sugar. They need to eat less salt. They need to take better care of themselves. But I would contend that a lot of it is the dismissal, and in particular of black women's pain, of responsiveness of the medical establishment with regard to concerns that black women have. We respond to white women's tears, but we do not respond to black women's pain. And I think that's a real deep problem that we have to contend with.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, in health, it is, there's study after study on that. It's just shocking to hear that this happened to an actual physician.
Right.
Right.
Well, she was calling it out at the same time.
Right. I mean, it's like, dude, you do know that she is a doctor, right? I just, boy. Well, speaking of COVID, you know, we've turned a corner apparently, and all of a sudden now we can go without mask if you're vaccinated. I saw the story yesterday outside, but I didn't realize, so I read a little bit deeper today, that it's actually also inside, with the exception of, you know, planes and trains and buses and transportation, things of that nature. But they're saying, hey, go for it, because, you know, the likelihood of transmission is lower. And if you do contract it, you're not going to develop the major symptoms. Same time, though, I did see a story that one of the New York Yankees tested for COVID, and he's vaccinated. And he's the 8th person on that team who has tested recently positive for COVID. I'm not sure about symptoms or what have you. I don't know, man. It just seems like it's that's an abrupt 180 from where we were just a week ago. You throwing your mask away, bro?
No. I was getting ready to cuss.
It's okay. You've been up all night. We'll forgive you.
No. I am not giving up the mask by any means. And you know, I don't know who people are. I don't know where they've been. I don't know if they've been vaccinated. You know, I don't know who they've been hanging out with. I'm sorry. Oh no.
Hey, listen. Well, if you want to know any indication where black folk are, just look at our Facebook thread. Lynn Baylor, I'm going to continue to wear my mask. Thanks, but no thanks. Someone else on there saying that that they know someone who was diagnosed on yesterday. Yeah, no, I don't think that that's going to go over well with the black community.
No, especially once we got the shots and everything. Oh no, we're not trying to get sick.
No.
And we already got issues with like how other folk handle their, cleanliness. Oh no.
Yeah.
It will be the face mask for me.
So, Karen says she's wearing her mask in public. Deacon Malika says still wear your mask. Yeah, Bill Mayer, right? Robert Garland, Bill Mayer of HBO. He has COVID now, and he was vaccinated. Yeah, you're right, Greg Brinkley. The contradictions are telling. I mean, I'm like, nah, y'all only got me like totally in this mode now where in my mind, it's like probably one of the best things that you can do because, look, nobody in our house caught a cold or the flu last year.
Absolutely. That's the one thing that kept happening. They kept talking about how there was virtually no flu season.
Right,
because everybody was wearing a face mask. I'm like, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, and I don't know it may be a long time before I shake your hand again because this elbow has become my new handshake.
I hear you.
And you're lucky if you get the elbow because normally I'm gonna give you the, the Wakanda from 6 feet away. Like, oh, it's all good. It's all love.
It was a couple of years ago I discovered. When I started driving into work, I spent one winter, I just drove into work every day instead of taking the metro when I was down in D.C. And I did not get sick at all that year.
Right.
I had my own single office, and then I was driving in. When I was taking the metro, I was catching colds, getting sick all the time, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Drove in, never got sick. I was like, you know what? I'm like, nah, I think I'm going to mask up wherever I go. I used to think it was, and this is going to sound really bad, but I would see Japanese or Chinese citizens or Korean citizens wearing face masks around when they were on the street. And I would be like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
That's going to be me.
Yeah. Black people, we're going to push the Asian community to the side when it comes to predominance and wearing masks because you're right. When I would travel, so when you travel in the airport a lot, ever since SARS and MERS,
that's right.
You see persons coming from, Asian countries traveling around the world, they were always rocking the mask. And on the plane, I'm like I'm like, what is wrong with them? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I got it now. It ain't nothing wrong with you. You are very smart, and I'm going to follow your lead. And, y'all can talk about me if you want to, and you can say that's just the COVID hoax. Okay, you keep your hoax over there. And apparently, almost everybody on Facebook agrees with us. Oh man. Asa Khalif says Michael Jackson saw this coming. Is that why he wouldn't take that glove off?
Well, he was wearing a face mask at one point.
Right, he was.
Wasn't it like a gemstone
He had
face mask?
He had his old kid. All his kids wearing masks.
Well, we all thought it was because he was getting nose jobs. He was just trying to cover up his nose. But now we know what the real truth is.
Asa. Oh man, it was too early to like make my side hurt like that from laughing, bruh.
I got it.
So all right, look, let's try to do a quick speed run. There are a few stories we just got to lift up real quick.
Okay.
First of all, if you're south of Philadelphia, apparently it's hard to get gasoline.
Dude, when I was driving back when we got the call that Chardonnay was being induced and going into labor, I made the mad. I had just driven down to Maryland. We making the mad dash. There's a gas station a block and a half from my house,
right.
And I was like, I had 3/4 of a tank, so I was okay because I was going to stop and fill up. Man, the line was down the street to
Where
get
was
gas. This is in Rockville, Maryland.
Oh.
I was like, yo. I'm like, I'm gonna keep going, man. And as I was driving up 95, there was the Chesapeake House, the Maryland House, there was the rest area in Delaware. Man, the gas lines were ridiculous.
Are you so? I must have just missed it because I had to, I had to go to DC on was it Monday?
Yeah, you went early.
Monday. Yeah, and so I mean Monday or Tuesday. I saw the lines. Maybe it was Tuesday. And I saw the news about the lines, but I had no trouble finding gas in DC or anywhere else coming home. But I ride motorcycles with some guys who are in Virginia, and man, they're like on this chat thread talking about, bruh, ran out trying to find gas. I'm like, really? Well, so people don't put gas in a plastic bag is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, people were putting gas in plastic bags, the bottles, everything. I mean, here's the thing. Part of this is not that we're really running out of gas. People are just hoarding. This is like toilet paper 2.0, right? This is that whole thing all over again. People are just panicking. Oh my God, I'm never going to be able to get any gas, and so they're going and they're filling up containers that are not even official containers. The whole gasoline, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, the particular pipeline runs. If you look at the route of it, then you understand exactly why those particular and why those particular places are out of gas and why we've been spared, I guess, in this moment. So if we're in Philly, it's all good. You don't have to really worry about it. But seriously, if you're going to travel south, understand you might be traveling into the Walking Dead for the next few days, where people are going to like siphon your gas out of your car if you stop.
Make sure you don't get to E and then start looking for a gas station. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I did get a sermon out of it.
Did you really?
Oh man, the 10 virgins, the 5 foolish, and the 5 wise.
Yes.
See, if they had known, people drive past the gas station all the time. I can fill up anytime. But then, boom, when you need it, now you can't go. You got everything you need. You got your car, you got everything, your supplies, but you can't move because you don't have gas because you didn't do it in time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm testing it out here on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
All right, hold on. Here's the next thing. Oh, and there's $7 a gallon in Virginia if you can find it, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
If you can find it. The second thing is this. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I heard about this. She's lost her mind, man. She's lost her mind. She's
a congresswoman, but I got to say, somebody's going to probably jack her up. She rolled up on Cori Bush, black woman, BLM activist from St. Louis. And Cori Bush was kind of like, girl, get out my face. Just leave me alone. You don't want this smoke.
Right.
And Cori Bush walked away because she knows if it goes down as a black woman, she'll be the one arrested.
That's right.
Now she runs up on a brown woman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
That's right.
And runs up on her to hey, Alexandria, hollering at her in the hallways, in her face yelling. I mean, at a certain point, somebody go give you that smoke that you're asking for. I mean, you don't get in grown people's faces, especially with the tense. Congress is not a nice place right now. People are on edge. And I'm telling you, somebody's going to lay hands on her if she does not learn how to control her behavior.
So here's the thing that, like, she's doing this all publicly and everything.
Yeah.
And what she's basically is trying to call them out. But she don't know what it means to get sucker punched or get snuck, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be, she's going to find herself in the wrong place at the wrong time and nobody around to back her up. None of her white male Congress people or the rest of her conspiracy theorists are going to be there, and she's going to get knocked out. I mean, and I'm not advocating this, so please don't get me wrong. But I'm saying you can't keep rolling up on people. First of all, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is from New York City. All right? Yeah. Do not do that. That is not a bright move.
Yeah, I got to believe that, Marjorie Taylor Greene strikes me as the kind of person who probably literally has never had a fight in life. Cori Bush, on the other hand, and AOC, coming from the Lou,
they
from
fall every day.
Yeah, you kind of have to do that to, you got to like fight figuratively to get out, and you almost have to fight literally. And the way she's run up on people is like she probably has not ever had a fight, because if you have, you know better than that. It's like, yo, man, keep that stuff at an acceptable level. You can disagree, you can even hate each other, but keep that down. We got to take a break. When we come back, the NFL, boy, you all never cease to just take it to another low. Tim Tebow.
I heard.
Yeah, we'll just save that. Tim Tebow's all we're going to say. Tim Tebow. This is a Power Hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
When voting rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. I am Amanda Green Hawkins, and I am running for Commonwealth Court. I stood with you in November 2020, as I have for nearly 20 years, fighting as a voter protection attorney to make sure that our voices and our votes count. The Commonwealth Court is our front line to protect and preserve our democracy, and I have the experience, the integrity, and the commitment to make sure that that is done. Vote for me, Amanda Green Hawkins, for Commonwealth Court.
Paid for by Amanda for Judge.
Hi, this is John.
Hi, this is Juanita, owners of JD's Auto Body and Painting. We're located at 6300 Wayne Avenue, right there at the intersection of Wayne and Washington Lane.
We really like to thank all you WURD listeners for the support that you've given our business, and we really hope to see you in the future.
JD, tell them about our products and services we have.
We have a new state-of-the-art paint shop along with our body shop and detail shop. We can help you with the dents and scratches from the winter season.
Come to JD's Auto Body and Painting. Come on out and check us out. We're still honoring that WURD 10% discount. Give us a call, 215-848-5949. Again, 215-848-5949.
Thanks again for supporting our business. We really appreciate you.
See you at JD's Auto Body and Painting.
From safe to seamless, convenient to contactless, and local to express, SEPTA is the Philly way to go. Plan your trip at iseptaphilly.com.
Imagine signing a loan for your dream kitchen, only later to find an undisclosed balloon payment due in 3 years. This happened. Deceptive mortgage brokers preyed on Philadelphians. I went after the banks and forced them to forgive $2 million. My name is Chris Hall. I am a candidate for the Court of Common Pleas in the May 18th primary. The Bar Association rates me highly recommended. Visit chrishallforjudge.com. Button 22, paid for by Friends of Chris Hall.
WURD Radio presents the following information to help you navigate the upcoming election.
This is Charles Ellison of Reality Check and City Council Live. Still feeling a bit worn out from the 2020 election? We're not done yet. 2021 is another important year when locally you have the power to pick Philadelphia's district attorney. Who will it be? The current DA and incumbent Larry Krasner, or former assistant DA and challenger Carlos Vega? What we know is this is a closely watched bellwether on the future of issues such as mass incarceration, policing, and public safety. If you want to have a direct say over these issues, simply vote in the upcoming primary on May 18th. If you have your mail-in ballot, you can vote by mail starting May 11th. More information can be found at the Philadelphia City Commissioner website, phillyvotes.com. Continue to follow at onWURD and hashtag WordOnPolitics for analysis and updates while tuning in to WURD Radio for special election coverage. Don't talk about your vote, cast it.
Stay informed and vote. For more from Charles Ellison, tune in Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or visit wordradio.com. Now, a traffic update on WURD Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Smart Mouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. Looking at 95 southbound volume getting heavy from Cottman down through Bridge. Northbound side, pretty good ride so far. Vine Expressway westbound, Somali Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill westbound, you're going to find that at a jam from Gladwin out through the Conshohocken curve. Disabled vehicle there off to the shoulder. Eastbound side, not a bad ride as of yet. The Boulevard Route 1 southbound, some slowing broad down to Fox through construction. 55 north jam Deptford in the 42 northbound. 55 through 295 a bit slow. If you talk to someone and they jump back because of your breath, you need Smart Mouth, the 24-hour Smart Mouthwash. You want to turn heads, but not like that. Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that can provide 24-hour fresh breath when used twice a day. Pick up a bottle of Smart Mouth today or visit smartmouth.com. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. Hey, I just want to shout out. I just saw that my daughter was actually listening to us this morning. So shout out to Shar. And congratulations, baby, on bringing my grandchild into the world. Thank you very much.
Oh, so Shar, let me just do the, if you don't have a name picked out yet, in the off chance that this baby is not yet named 4 hours later, can we do a quick contest on Facebook Live and YouTube as a naming contest? Can we just spend a few moments giving naming suggestions? Is that all right? Can we just throw some name suggestions out there? You don't have to accept them. But what are some really cool baby names for the grandson of an activist organizer like Nelson, Martin, Malcolm, Royster? You got to throw Royster in there somewhere. That's the old school way.
It's a boy.
Well, but the old school way of, it's the old school way of kind of keeping that name too, But yeah, so it's a boy.
Well, no, Bernita was asking whether a boy or a girl, so I was just saying it's a boy.
Oh, got you. Yeah, so, yeah. So what are some, real strong names? Malcolm is good. You can never go wrong with Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Think Nelson Mandela. I mean, Martin, come on, bro. She could throw Dwayne in there somewhere.
That would have been nice.
David. How about Stone?
My brother would have a field day with that.
Stone Royster. Greg Brinkley said the little Royster. Deacon Maleka likes Dwayne. Yeah. Oh, Marcus Garvey. Oh, Mark. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. What are some of do you guys have names in your family that pop up routinely, like that kind of keep getting recycled?
No, not well. I mean, our folk in Virginia do, but not up north.
Okay. Yeah. Samson, Abraham. There are a couple more that just popped in there. All right. Keep posting your names while we talk about Tim Tebow here in the NFL. So the Jacksonville Jaguars want to bring Tim Tebow back. Why? I don't know. He was one of the biggest NFL disappointments of all time. I mean, just a huge bust. He was dominant as a college player. You could not stop him when he played down in Florida. That is the truth. But he was an awful quarterback. And they tried him out at other positions. He just he flopped. Now he's had a great career since then as an analyst and all of that kind of stuff. But they want to bring this guy back. Oh man, the names are popping up good there. And so here's the issue. Every time something like this happens, it begs the question, Tim Tebow, but no Colin Kaepernick?
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all could go pull Tim Tebow, who is probably not, he ain't seen a field in 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, but Cap can't play? How is it that everybody in the NFL recognizes now that Black lives actually do matter? We're singing the Black national anthem at games alongside the national anthem. Everyone acknowledges how wrong it was to shut Cap out, but yet nobody will play him. It's kind of like when you meet those folk who talk about, yes, racism is absolutely all throughout society, is pervasive, it's in every institution. And then you say, all right, well, let's deal with it right here. Well, So it's just, but it's not in my industry or it's not on my team. You can't have it both ways.
Okay. So let's talk about the fact that sports is really a plantation system that's built off a slavery model anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so there's that piece of it, right? And so if you don't want to have, slaves that are going to cause you problems playing for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get me started on sports again.
Okay. No, just all right. Let's act like this. We're in banking, right? Okay. I mean, it's just the idea, right? That like here you have a bona fide superstar who has actually, look, bro. If the lights hadn't gone out in that Super Bowl that Kaepernick played in, then the Niners may have gone on to win that Super Bowl, and you're talking about a Super Bowl winner. But in spite of that, he took his team. Some people get carried to a Super Bowl by their team. Kaepernick legitimately led San Francisco to a Super Bowl when he was in his younger years, and Tim Tebow was a complete and utter flop. They've both been out the game a long time. Tebow's been out the game longer than Cap, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me correct. And yet we're going to go and bring this guy, but not deal with this man. And the fact that you all have wronged him.
I think Asa has the quote of the day.
Yeah.
Where he says the NFL would rather bring back OJ rather than Cap.
I'm not black. I'm OJ. What? What?
They would rather bring back OJ rather than Cap.
Hey, Asa, high five yourself right now.
That's some serious thing. Tawanda says Asa Khalif, dang. But you know what? There's a lot of truth in that. I mean, again, Colin Kaepernick brought the NFL to its knees in some extent, right? And really created a lot of controversy, a lot of challenge, and forced them to have to look at themselves to some extent. He got paid a little bit from, the misery that they caused him for several years. But, it was nothing compared to what he would have made as a first-string quarterback in the NFL. And then they were, trying to set him up to, for scouts to look at him, but the situation and conditions weren't optimal for him to be able to do that. So Tim Tebow is like, Mr. Christian. He's like, he's warm apple pie with vanilla ice cream and, Sunday afternoons in the Lord. And I think people appreciate that. That's why, they're trying to clean up an image and bring him back. He represents good old America.
Well, you know what Kaepernick represents? Kaepernick is Haiti. It hit me as you were talking. I never thought about this before. I'm sure somebody else has already probably said this over the years, but Kaepernick is Haiti. What Western society and white supremacy hates more than anything else, and what it will never forgive, is any black person who dares to become free and wins. He's Haiti, he's Cuba. That anybody who throws off the yoke of their oppressor will never be forgiven, and will never, ever, 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 ever get. He's Arsenio Hall.
He's Toussaint Louverture.
Look, Arsenio overstepped the line. Remember, he was saying, "Look, Merv Griffin has interviewed Farrakhan. Everybody's interviewed Farrakhan. Why can't I interview him?" They said, "No, you can't do it because you'll be throwing him softballs, and it'll be a bad look. And if you do it, we're going to cut you off at the knees." And if it had not been for Eddie Murphy, and Kevin Hart and others kind of bringing Arsenio back on their own terms years later, but Arsenio was at his height. But what did he do? He dared to use his platform to open the door for a discussion about blackness on black people's terms, and he paid the price by his career being cut short. That's what happens. And this is how you lynch somebody publicly and leave the body up there, or in Jesus's day, hang him on a cross and have hundreds of crosses lined up on the street to remind you other would-be revolutionaries, don't you dare wake up.
That's right. I think you've got a point there.
And that is from me, a sellout. according to some of our Facebook listeners.
I don't know how anybody could think that you were a sellout. But anyway, they don't know you very well.
Yes.
They do not know you very well.
Selling out for a job that doesn't pay.
They really don't know you very well at all to say that. So anyway, all right, everybody. Well, that's it for this week. We thank you for joining us here on the Power Hour, Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. We'll be back on Monday morning to start this thing all over again. Shout out to Kawesa for holding down the boards and getting us up and going each and every morning. Thank you, Dr. Tyler, for everything that you do. We appreciate each and every one of you that listens to our show, whether you're on the air, whether you're on the Facebook app, YouTube, whether you're using Alexa, or whatever device that you're using to check us out. We deeply appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments that have come in today. We'll go back and take a look at all the names that got listed there and figure out where we're going with all of this. Although I think Chardonnay knows where she's going already with this.
Toussaint Colin Overture.
There we go. Stay tuned now for Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones. And listen, family, do us a favor. Go out, change the damn world. Because if you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
Deuces.